Kia ora and welcome to Business Your Way, a podcast where I take you behind the scenes and look at the strategies, systems and support needed to grow and scale an online service business. One that not only supports you and your family financially, but one that gives you the freedom to live the life of your dreams. I'm taking the many lessons learnt over the last 2 decades of running my own business and working with hundreds of clients to bring you what's working now conversations. I'm pulling back the curtain to bring you real stories from real people, including myself. We're going to talk about everything from how to get clarity on your vision, creating systems so you can automate and delegate, how to hire a kick-ass team that creates raving, returning and referring clients. We're even going to talk about how to kick those limiting beliefs to the curb so that you can flourish in your business. I'm your host, Sandra Julian, an Indigenous mama of 3, fashion-loving sewist and business strategist. Each week, I want to help you dream big, plan well, and do the work to grow and scale your business your way.
This week on the Business Your Way podcast, we have some more words of wisdom from some of our past guests. We hope you enjoy.
Hey Sahara, can you tell us a bit about what you do, who you serve, and how you make your moolah?
I am an integrated wellness specialist, and I take many, many facets of the healing world and mix them all together in a big bag that I use to unlock the Rubik's Cube that are my clients and their bodies and their beliefs and their health and wellness. Yeah, I like to mix everything up. I myself have a hard time finding that one thing ever really, there's no one size fits all. There's no one cure for anything. So when people come to me and they're talking about a situation they have going on, they're going to get some nutrition, some Ayurveda, some body work, some meditation. They're going to get a little bit of everything. Yeah, sure. People are marketing things and making a lot of money and also disconnecting more and more and more from the world. But if your line of work, this is where I'm but my line of work is connecting, not disconnecting. So how can I use a marketing thing that's disconnecting? It doesn't work. So my marketing, what has worked for me is not marketing at all. It's talking to people. It is, if I'm online scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or whatever I'm doing, seeing that somebody has a question about something and I'm just having a conversation with them, and I'm not doing it to make money. I'm doing it to help them. I feel like we need to start really finding this luxurious nourishment for ourselves and slowing down and scheduling ourselves into our lives, because right now we're not scheduling ourselves into our lives. Go have a nice lunch, come for a 3-hour massage, go home, have a nice dinner, relax. I want something that Ayurveda taught me was that it's not necessarily about the herbs and the procedures and the massages and the steams and whatever. It is the calming down, the chilling out, the simplifying that is what's healing people.
So I'm Rachel Reiter. I am primarily the brand stylist and mentor behind Hopscotch Branding Studio, where I serve flourishing female online entrepreneurs to create heartfelt brand personalities that ideally attract their perfect dream customers and align with their purpose-led vision. I'm also the founder of a signature branding course called Brand Alchemy and a monthly membership called the Branding Hub, which guides and supports passionate women in business to create an authentic and intentional brand. Do you know, I get such a thrill from seeing other business owners truly understanding their brand in a way that gives them so much clarity and confidence to be able to grow their business and communicate their message really clearly and really step into an authentic brand that is truly aligned for their perfect customers. It doesn't have to happen right now. It's okay. I say to my clients and my students is that baby steps are still steps in the right direction. You're still going to get there. I have to reset my boundaries and, realign myself so that I'm focusing on what I really, really, really want my life and what I want my girl's life and my husband's life to be. And so sometimes I really do need to pull back from being so addicted to my business and remind myself that the business is the vehicle for me to allow me to be there for all of the extracurricular and allow me to just walk the kids down to school in the morning, that's why I'm doing this. So why, sometimes I have to just say, Rachel, why? Why do you feel like you have to do this?
Yeah, so I am Jenny. I am the owner of Savvy Podcast Agency, which is a podcast management and marketing agency. We help clients launch and grow their podcasts. And I'm also starting to venture into mentoring current and aspiring podcast managers as well to help them kind of grow as a business owner, kind of get booked out, and then eventually go towards the agency route themselves if they want to, or other avenues that, once they're booked out that they need, they still want money, but they don't want to continue serving more clients. Yeah, I think having a client management system like Dubsado or Honeybook or whatever, a communication tool like Slack or whatever you want to use, and then a project management tool are just non-negotiables for us as an agency and honestly a business in general. Because if you ever want to grow as an agency, I think it's important to have those things ready to go from the get-go so that you're not building systems when you need them. You already have them and they've kind of grown with you. Our main kind of source of revenue is coming from referrals and things like that. I mean, I'm sure I get people from like Facebook groups and Instagram and things like that as well. I know I do, but referrals have been super huge for the agency's growth explosion over the past year. Some people think, oh, did she just start an agency and grow overnight? No, I've been in business since 2016, but from the outside looking in, people may not recognize that. So I think it's just so important to be transparent about all the steps of your business journey, whether it's good or bad.
I am Elizabeth. I'm a web designer, brand strategist, an architectural designer, and founder of Studio Classica. And I help purpose-driven female entrepreneurs, coaches, industry experts, service providers, and, really passionate people scale their businesses with impactful branding and design. And the goal is to help you attract your dream clients, elevate your online business, and book out your offers, also while creating a big impact in the world. And so we specialize, specifically with Kajabi websites. It's our main niche currently. I'm a big believer now in saying no to things and to niching down to one specialization. There's a reason for everything, and everything leads to the next thing, and it always makes sense in the end.
I'm talking with Krista Lockwood. She's a mama of 5 who has built her business around her family, and through a lot of trial and error has worked out what best works for her and her family.
I am a mom of 5 and a wife to 1, but I teach moms how to declutter their homes and simplify their lives. I basically teach them how to get rid of all of the excess stuff in their home that makes it really hard to live your day-to-day life, right? Like living around piles of stuff on your counters or laundry piles if you have small children. Toy messes and toy organization can consume a whole lot of your time and energy and make it really difficult to do anything. And so all I've ever done as far as my business and making my money is selling digital courses. That's the thing that makes the money. But the way that I have been able to sell digital courses is by building a really, I think, just awesome, supportive, engaged community. Because if you don't have, people engaging with your content, they're not going to buy anything from you, whether it's a digital course or, anything that you're selling. So that's a little bit about what I do and how I do it, or how I guess the very simple version of how I do it. I think that's the biggest secret, is actually care about the people that are in there, give them content that they are excited to share with people. And for a Facebook group specifically, it's a private Facebook group. I think creating a degree of safety and clarity around what kind of conversations you allow and don't allow, right? As far as maybe not necessarily like content, but the way that we engage with each other. I plan my content to specifically continue the market research part of it and continue to stay connected with them so that I can almost be one step ahead of their conversations and, creating content around that. I'm at a place where I know what I have to do and I can do it, but I want to have it in writing so that I can be more structured with it, more efficient with it, and then eventually get to a place where I can hand that system off to somebody else, right? So I don't have to do it by myself. I think one of my best strengths in my business is running a week-long decluttering challenge, which sounds so strange, I'm sure, but they have such great results that they want more. And so it's been a really easy transition to sell those courses and promote those courses regularly in a relevant way that gets people excited to buy.
I am Linda Sadu. I create quizzes for online business owners and coaches. And funny enough, I started this when I created a quiz for my business, and it just took off. And I can really correlate the reason why it took off to my experience in pharmaceutical sales. So interesting enough, I was in pharmaceutical sales for 10 years, and my company gave us a lot of support and training on how to understand different personalities. And I really leaned on that heavily because I knew that if I was going into a doctor's office, they knew way more than I could, or I did, over the products. And matter of fact, some of them had done studies on competing products and my products as well. So I knew I couldn't ask them to use my product if they didn't believe in it, right? So I really leveraged the relationship side of it and tried to build the relationship before I ever tried to sell anything. But when I went to create a quiz for my own business, at the time I was trying to launch a course in email marketing, I created a quiz, and it was a personality quiz. And I knocked it out of the park. I even had Interact, the quiz platform, reach out to me 3 months after I created it and ask me what I was doing because the conversion rate was so high, and they didn't usually see that with people who've never created quizzes before. And I really attribute it back to my experience and personality work that I did in pharmaceutical sales. And so that's how it all started. And when I realized there was something to the quizzes, plus I really enjoyed, the personality aspect of it, that's when I kind of honed in on that and thought there was something to quizzes. I was starting to notice is that, oh my gosh, these quizzes are really the foundation of beautiful launches. And it's just a piece of the pie. With the pandemic, women had to pivot. We're going to have to pivot continually. And, I want to be a role model for twofold, where it's, if you have to pivot, that's okay. That's going to happen. Don't be scared. Just, go with it. I really, really firmly believe that you need to coach people with their strengths. So the typical quiz funnel I work on is we create the quiz, we have a welcome series to nurture the new leads. Then there's some pre-launch seeding emails that go into, your course. Then there's a webinar or maybe a 3-day challenge, some type of an event to really kick off the doors are opening for your course. And then it's the course. That is where I've seen the most success utilized from a quiz. The quiz is really just a piece of the pie. It's a way to generate leads in your business so you can grow your email list, because you need to grow your email list in order to sell anything, right? Quiz is a lead gen tool. It's a way to attract people to your services. That is its primary role. Whatever you want to do after that is up to you as a business owner. But in my personal experience, I've seen people have really good success when they're very intentional and they have a game plan behind it.
Before you go today, I wanted to say thank you for being here and listening all the way to the end. All of the links to this week's episode can be found in the show notes, or if you like to read a really good blog, then you can head over to my website at sandrajulian.co/podcast. Now, you've probably realized that running a business is not for the faint-hearted. There are challenges coming at you left, right, and center every day. But I'm here to tell you that challenges are only challenges because you haven't yet found an answer to them. The solution could actually be easier than you may think. But if you're anything like me, you tend to overthink or overanalyze the solution that is right in front of you. So what do you have to do to become the best boss you could possibly be? Well, you could go and take my 2-minute free agency owner persona quiz at sandrajulian.co/quiz. Here you'll find out how you can scale and streamline your business without compromising you and your lifestyle. I can't wait to know what your results are. So once you've done the quiz, why don't you take a screenshot, jump over to Instagram, share it on your stories, and don't forget to tag me. I'm at sandrajulian.co. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure that you hit the subscribe button to get notified of the new episodes as soon as they're released. And if you listen on Spotify or the Apple Podcast app, then I'd really appreciate if you could rate the show and perhaps leave a quick review if you are on the Apple app. Those 5 stars would mean the world to me, and it would help get this show in the ears of more online service business owners. Alrighty, my friend, have the most productive week, and I will talk to you again real soon.